Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
It's Brocktober in December, baby. I am all in on Mr. Irrelevant, Brocktober. They're calling him Big Cock Brock.
I was going to say it.
Couldn't be any more in on that. Come on.
Big Dick Nick, Big Cock Brock. I'm all in on this.
Why don't we talk a little bit about the science experiment angle here?
Let's
all right,
do it.
So the science experiment is in full effect in, I would say, 2 games this week. Number 1 being Brock Purdy against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the second one, I guess we could throw in Tyler Huntley here
Still
for the
counts.
Baltimore Ravens. Still counts? Okay, so let's start with Brock Purdy in the science experiment. I'm going to let you have the floor here.
We love it. Listen, this is the thing. We see this happen time and time again. And this is why I will tell you now that I'm worried about Mike White this week. So we can get to that at some point, is it does fade off. But what tape do we have on Brock Purdy? Like, you don't have tape on Brock Purdy.
Iowa State versus TCU 2019, baby.
Yeah, but no one's going back that far. It's Mr. Irrelevant. I don't trust the coaching staff in Tampa Bay. I don't know what the hell that game plan was against the New Orleans Saints. I think that they're going to really struggle. And I think we saw Brock Purdy do enough. Like, he did more than enough, actually exceeded expectations. I'm excited to see this game. I'm surprised the number isn't maybe a little bit different here when I saw this open. But again, we talked about this. I think Tampa is in trouble here against this defense. We saw even Miami, they held Miami to 17 points. Now you want to go against Tampa Bay's very, like, at this point, I hate even saying this word, but kind of sedated offense. Like, there's nothing sexy about it. I kind of like this game to be low scoring here. But yeah, I think Brock Purdy gets it done. I think he can do enough to beat this team.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit further. So the small science experiment basically says a new quarterback or backup quarterback in his first week and maybe his second week, there's value on betting him because there's not enough tape.
First start, too.
What?
It's his first start. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so this applies to Brock Purdy and Tyler Huntley this week. Basically, the theory is no one has tape on them. We're going to bet on them early, and then at some point, we're going to fade against them. This is where the Mike White corollary comes in here,
yes.
Which is, I'll let you have the floor again, but Mike White is in his third start. You saw he didn't finish, well, last week he did not cover. Now we're in a position where, okay, you're going up to Buffalo. Can the Jets cover this number, +9 number?
Yeah, and listen, the books don't respect Mike White the way that everyone else does. And I don't respect Mike White either. I think what Mike White has done is awesome and it's fun and it's flashy. But let's talk about the fact he only completed 54% of his passes and he had 2 interceptions last game. Like, you saw that come out. I think I said this on last week's show. If he was made to be the starting quarterback, he would have started week 1. He's a backup quarterback in the NFL. That's what he is. It's going to be what he remains to be. I don't believe, and I could see this end up being on like freezing cold takes or whatever that is in a couple months if I'm wrong. But I just don't think that Mike White can go into Buffalo and beat them.
42% of the bets and 86% of the money per Action Network is coming in on the Buffalo Bills. Not a real surprise there.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I do think there is something to Mike White in that his teammates really do seem to respect him. Like Garrett Wilson saying that.
They like winning is what they like.
I think they also like getting the ball thrown to them. Like Zach Wilson wasn't throwing them the ball. Garrett Wilson, even like Elijah Moore, seems more engaged now. He's like, oh, I'll go to war with Mike White. Yeah, no shit, because he throws you the fucking ball.
Wilson's a twerp. Like, no one I could have guessed that. And you're playing in New York. Like, Mike White just has swag. Again, like, I sound like I love Mike White. Like, I wish him I think it'd be sweet. If this ends up being a Cinderella story, I love it all day. But this does start to fade off when, teams can get their eyes on them, kind of see what they can do to shake him up. I think that Buffalo can be one of those teams. What is it? Is it 9.5 yet? Or is it still, is it 9? Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot against Buffalo to cover. I don't know. I think they could keep it within a touchdown.
I could see them covering, but I don't think that they're going to win for the second time this year against the Bills. And remember, This is a little bit of a Bills revenge factor
Yes.
against the Jets for having lost in New York earlier this season. And Buffalo seems to be rolling despite the fact that Von Miller is now out for the year with a torn ACL.
And the Bills' last game at home was their loss to the Vikings. There's something else. Like, they want to win this game. I think they're going to try to also prove they don't need Von Miller at all to continue to be dominant. So I like the Bills a lot in this situation.